Twist of Fate. Episode 3. The Fight for Survival. The silence in the hospital room was deafening. Dema sat frozen on the edge of the bed, her mind refusing to accept what the doctor had just told her. Alex was gone. He had walked out on her. Walked out on their baby. She clenched her fists, her nails digging into her palms as she whispered to herself, "This is not happening. He's coming back." But deep down, she knew the truth. He wouldn't come back. The doctor had already left the room, giving her space to process the reality of her situation. The beeping of the monitors filled the air, each sound a cruel reminder of the battle her daughter was still fighting. She turned her gaze toward the crib where her baby lay, tiny, fragile, and still dependent on the oxygen keeping her alive. Tears welled up in Dema's eyes as she reached out to touch the glass. "It's just you and me now," she whispered. "But I promise, I won't leave you. Never. A life she can't afford." Days turned into weeks. Dema had sold almost everything she owned. Her wedding ring. Her gold earrings. Even the expensive watch Alex had once gifted her on her birthday. But it was never enough. Every time she walked into the doctor's office, she dreaded hearing the words, "The bills are increasing." And they always were. One afternoon, she sat in the hospital's waiting area, staring blankly at the white walls. Her body was weak from lack of sleep, her stomach empty from skipping meals to save money. She had no family. No relatives. No one to run to. And Alex? Not a single message. Not a single call. It was as if he had ceased to exist. She thought about asking for loans, but who would give her money? She had nothing left as collateral. And the worst part? The doctor had been honest with her, babies in her daughter's condition rarely survived. But she refused to believe it. Her daughter would live. She had to. The hardest decision. In the second month, the inevitable happened. The doctor called Dema into his office. She entered slowly, her heart pounding against her ribs. The doctor exhaled, removing his glasses. "Dema, we need to talk about your options." She already knew what was coming. The oxygen bills are piling up. And if we're being realistic, you might lose everything if you keep this up. Dema swallowed hard. "I don't care. As long as my baby is breathing, I'll find a way." The doctor looked at her with pity. "I admire your strength, but I've been in this profession for years. And I need you to be prepared for the worst." Dema's lips trembled. She wanted to scream. To fight. To do anything but accept what he was saying. "You're asking me to give up?" she whispered. "I'm asking you to think about yourself too." She let out a shaky breath. "Let me stay with her tonight," she finally said. "Just one last night." The doctor hesitated, then nodded. "I'll allow it." As she left his office, she felt numb. Her heart ached in ways she never thought possible. That night, Dema sat beside her baby's crib, her fingers gripping the tiny hand that barely moved. "I'm sorry, my love," she whispered. "I tried. I really did." She sobbed quietly, her tears soaking the hospital sheets. She didn't know how long she sat there till it was morning already, but at some point, she felt a presence beside her. She looked up and found one of the nurses staring at her with glassy eyes. "You're a strong mother," the nurse said softly. "Not many would have fought this hard." Dema shook her head. "I'm not strong. I'm just desperate." The nurse sighed. "Sometimes, those are the same thing, you just have to be strong." The nurse then added, "The doctor needs your presence in his office." Immediately she heard this, she knew it was time. This made her shed more tears as the nurse held her hands while heading to the doctor's office. While in the doctor's office, Dema was made to sign some documents after that which the doctor told her it was time to take oxygen off the baby. Just as she was about to respond, the doors to the doctor's office opened. A police officer walked in, his arms carrying a tiny bundle wrapped in a cloth. The hospital staff, Dema, and the doctor turned to look. The officer approached the doctor's desk and spoke in a firm voice. "I am Inspector Kingsley Anthony. We found a baby abandoned at the hospital gate." Dema's breath hitched. "A baby?" the doctor asked, confused. "Abandoned?" The officer nodded. "Whoever left the child didn't leave a note. We don't know where it came from. We came across the baby while on a patrol last night with my team at the entrance of the hospital," the officer said. Dema stared at the small bundle in his arms. Why did this feel like more than just a coincidence? After many conversations between the doctor and the officers prepared to leave with the baby. Dema's lips moved before she could stop them. "Please, leave the baby with me." Everyone turned to look at her. The officer frowned. "What?" She swallowed, her voice breaking. I'll take care of the baby." The room fell silent. The doctor hesitated but then stepped forward. "She's a mother who just gave birth. And she's about to lose her own child." He turned to the officer. Maybe this is fate." The officer studied Dema for a long moment. Then, finally, he handed her the baby. Dema's hands trembled as she took the small bundle. She pulled the cloth back slightly and gasped. It was a boy. Her heart clenched as tears streamed down her face. Was this the universe giving her a second chance? Or was this just another cruel twist in her story? What happens now? Will she accept the abandoned child as her own? And what about her daughter? Will she survive the pain?